Welcome to the most stressful yet exciting part of living in New York City. Which means we are apartment hunting here in New York City. Thank God I'm not moving in the summer because that's when like all the college kids like NYU Columbia students move in. Rent prices like jack up. So I'm glad I'm not moving in at that time. And we're in September, October when it's all settled down. But I recently toured about 8 different apartments and I wanted to show you guys the ones that kind of sparked my interest. Before we start, I have a list of non-negotiables that I look for when I am hunting for an apartment. So let's get into it. First is that I'm looking for a 1-bedroom. The past 2 years, I've been living in a studio, both about like less than 400 square feet. It's really tiny, especially when I have a lot of stuff and it keeps growing. So we are definitely looking for a 1-bedroom. Budget that I want to stay in between is $3,700 to $4,400, which I feel like there's a lot of great 1-bedrooms in that price range, especially in New York. And location wise, I'm trying to look for apartments in Brooklyn, specifically like downtown Brooklyn and Williamsburg. I've lived the past 3 years in Manhattan and it's a bit hectic. And I feel like I'm getting more introverted as I get older, so I do want to switch a pace. And then especially because I am a content creator and this is my full-time job now, good lighting is so important for me. For me, big windows and good lighting is absolutely a must. And then for the last non-negotiable is a washer and dryer in unit. I have a lot of clothes these days and I sweat, I work out a lot, and because I do go through a lot of shirts. I'm in my workout era, guys. But before we head on into the rest of the apartment tours, I do want to give you guys some tips and advice if you are planning to move to New York, because it's so competitive with the amount of people that are living here. From what I learned, and probably what is the most important for me, is that get all your paperwork ready before you even apply. The time that it takes for you to like look for like your statements, your pay stubs, another person's probably gonna go in there swoop in that apartment. So have it all ready before you apply so that when you get your application, you just put it all in and then you just wait for the response. And then the second one is, I would say just start looking for apartments 1 month in advance. I think if you look maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, it's like you won't have enough time. And there's just so many different apartments out there that you may want or you may not want. And then the competition, just give yourself some time, some room to breathe so that you can look for the right apartment that you want. And the last one is always ask if they're having like concession deals, because a lot of these apartments sometimes have like 1 month off, half month off, and it really makes a difference on like your total net rent that you're paying. Always ask, because you never know, they might be like having some sort of deal. So yeah, it's really helpful, I'd say. So yeah guys, that is pretty much all. I think you guys are really ready to see all the apartments I've been touring anyway, so let's get into it. And a little disclaimer, I am very picky. I'm very specific. It's because like, you know, this is a lot of money that I'm putting into and my job is focused around being at home. So I'm gonna be very specific, guys. And some of them you're gonna be like, what, this dude is way too like, just have some patience on me, guys. These apartments, I really want it to be my home. So I'm gonna be pretty picky about it. So like, let's start. Okay, so for this first apartment, I really liked it. Like, I love the rounded corner 1-bed unit, and like the sun was just like coming in so perfectly. Oh my God. My dream for New York City was always to have like a corner unit. And on top of that, what's even better was that it's rounded. You know, it wasn't like that square one, it was like freaking rounded. And like that was the view of downtown Brooklyn. And I loved also how like you could still see the rest of the landscape. Like it wasn't building locked, meaning that I don't see just somebody else's entire apartment in front of me. Like I love that you could still see that, and sunlight was coming in. It was awesome. The bedroom was like okay. It's like a little disappointing. I thought the windows were a bit small, and it looked like if you have a queen size bed, pretty much the whole space is gone and you can't put a desk in there. So I didn't really like how small the bedroom felt. But it's whatever. I mean, like, look at the living room. It's freaking awesome. And then the island, I really love. You guys know I love islands. I couldn't tell with the kitchen because I don't think they were fully done renovating it. Like, the fridge wasn't even there. But whatever. I mean, it's fine. It's probably once in there. It should be fine. And I loved how there's a washer and dryer. But I will say what did rub me off a little in the wrong end, the leasing agent. I don't know, she was just like not enthusiastic, whatever she wanted. She felt like she just wanted to leave and not like really help us out. And I wasn't even done touring and she was like, okay, let's go. And I was like, okay, this is a little odd. Like, as Like, I don't really care about things like that, you know, as long as the apartment I'm living in is fine, but kind of did rub me off the wrong way. I'm like, I don't know if this is the staff I have to interact with. I don't know. Whatever. Then for the second apartment, we went down to another one bed that's a lot cheaper. This living room was just like not it. Like, it felt like a lobby of a hotel where you grab food at the continental breakfast. That's what it felt like. Like, the windows were tiny and the kitchen just consumed the entire space. But the bedroom, it's like pretty much the opposite from the last unit. The bedroom has the rounded corner look instead of the living room, which is like, okay. I mean, that's awesome that my bedroom has that so I can wake up to that view. But to be honest, like, I don't know, I'd rather have the rounded windows in the living room just because I spend most of my time in the living room, you know, like doing work, cooking, eating, and bedroom's just for me sleep. So I don't know. The living room it just wasn't it. Yeah, I don't know about that one. And then for the third next apartment, wasn't like my favorite apartment, I would say. Like, I liked that it was a corner unit and you could see like both sides of the road, but the fact that like the windows were still like chopped up and there was a wall in between, I want to be able to see the world outside, you know? And then the kitchen was large. And I love that there was an island. I love islands, guys. You guys know me, I just love island. But then it felt like the rest of the living room got eaten up because the kitchen was so big. So I couldn't really imagine where I would put like a dining table or like a couch in that living room just because the kitchen ate so much of the entire space. And then also there was no laundry and dryer unit. Like, you kind of have to go outside and then do it. But then also it's one per floor, so there's one dryer and one washer per floor. And I'm like, bro, there's so many like freaking units on this floor. How could we just share one? So if I'm paying $4,300, it's kind of a red flag, to be honest. And then the bedroom was fine. The bedroom was just like a standard bedroom. It was spacious enough. I think it could fit like a one queen bed and a desk on the side. And the closet was fine. It was kind of like a unique lighting situation as well, so that was fine. The bedroom was fine. It just, I guess my biggest red flags was there's practically no living room. The living room was the kitchen pretty much, and no washer and dryer. Bathroom was good too. The bathroom, it's a pretty standard bathroom. This is so weird, but I liked how the toilet was sitting on the ground for some reason. Just the way it's sitting there on the floor was really aesthetic to me. But yeah, $4,300 for that. It's not something I would want to consider, but I'll keep it on the list just in case, because it is a corner unit at the end of the day. And then guys, for this fourth apartment, I've never seen such an amazing view from Brooklyn, of just the rest of Brooklyn into Manhattan. Like, the windows were absolutely so big, and I love that there were no like window panes throughout the window. It was just like straight up the square and glass. And I love that the Williamsburg Bridge was right there. Like, chef's kiss. Like, I can't even say anything else. The bedroom was just big. I loved it. I love how natural light came in. But the only thing I will say is I didn't like how futile, big old cat word, futile the windows were. Like, I love in the living room, it was huge and it took up a lot of space. But in the bedroom, it was just very small. It was very narrow, and I don't know, you couldn't see much. Closet was good. Also, another thing I didn't like though was the living room was great, but the kitchen, again, here's me nitpicking, but I didn't like the color on like the cabinetry. Like, black in that space just does not look right. Like, I wish it was like brown or like mahogany or like a regular kitchen or like marble look. The bathroom was super posh, like large, wide sink, and like the counter space, and also the drawers were super wide. Like, bathroom was perfect, living room was perfect. I think it was just the bedroom and sort of the kitchen area. And there was a good rooftop view upstairs. You could still see the rest of Manhattan. So, also another inconvenience was you also have to go downstairs to do laundry. And that's a little bit of a red flag for me. I don't know. It's like, you're paying this amount of money. You want to have the nice amenities, you know? So actually, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's not the perfect apartment. But man, that view is just crazy. I can't stop thinking about it. And then for our fifth apartment, it was pretty standard. Like, I loved how the windows were full ceiling to the floor, but I will say one of the things was the window panes, like the black borders that kind of like obstructs the view. But I mean, that's nitpicking at it. But I loved how you could still see the rest of Manhattan view on it. Okay, the bedroom was great because usually when you have floor to ceiling windows in the living room, the bedrooms usually are not floor to ceiling. But for this one, they had it both in the living and the bedroom, so I actually love that. And then standard closet, pretty good. Bathroom, again, standard bathroom. And one thing I will say I didn't like was the kitchen. Like, typically I like it more separated because when you're cooking, all the smell gets pretty much radiated through that entire room. I didn't like how there was no separation from the living room to the kitchen, so that one was a little bit like, but I mean, there was a washer and dryer unit, so that was great. But overall, like, this is just like a normal standard one bed, nothing too crazy, nothing too bad. Yeah, so pretty standard, nothing too impressionable for me, so I'll keep this on my list. We'll see where it goes. This one's more like mid-tier. And then for our 6th apartment, love the really big window, like as soon as you walk in. I also like that it's like a very unique shape, different from what I normally see for an apartment layout. Living room's like a pretty much like a triangle almost. Love the ceiling floor windows. What I kind of didn't like though was the view, and it's like facing almost no part of Manhattan or the rest of Williamsburg. Like, guys, I moved to New York so I could get a good view of New York, or at least feel like New York, because it just reminds me of Missouri then, you know? I liked how the kitchen was separated from the living room. I love that because I cook a lot, guys, you know. I don't want the smell radiating across the whole living space, so I like that it was tucked away in the corner. Living room was a bit small, I'd say. Once I put a couch, the living space is pretty much eaten up. But other than that, the bedroom was great, because usually, you know, when the living room has floor ceiling, the bedroom doesn't. But this one definitely had both. Washer and dryer, great. Bathroom, I love when the light is showing from behind the mirror. It's like so much more fancier and looks more luxurious. And other than that, bathroom's pretty standard, I'd say. Yeah, it's like, I love it, but I also don't. So I don't know where I stand with this one. That was definitely the most unique layout I've ever seen. I don't know, we'll have to see. I'll keep this one on the list. And guys, for the 7th apartment, by far my most favorite, especially like walking into this one, rounded corner unit, even better than the first one I showed you guys, because this one, all the sunlight was coming in, and it's the same like downtown Brooklyn view, but like the fact is you could see the Brooklyn Tower from here, and it's like so Gotham-y and like a little bit eerie, but I love that. And you can see the sunlight directly coming in, and I love the island there, guys. I really like that like floating light hanging on the ceiling. It made it look so much more luxe. And then the window in the kitchen directly like looking into the Brooklyn Tower was amazing too. Also, like when you first walk into the apartment, I love how there was like a good buffer space between like the front door and then the living room or the bedroom. Like you could kind of like pick your choose. And then the bathroom, again, it's pretty standard bathroom. I never really have any critiques for bathrooms unless it's like really weird, but I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but you know, it does the job. And then I really like the bedroom. Honestly, the bedroom windows aren't ceiling to floor, which it's okay. It's honestly okay because the living room is just so good. But I will say the windows are pretty large, like a lot of sunlight coming in, so perfect for that too. Yeah, just a solid bedroom. You know what? Honestly, I have like no complaints. Like washer and dryer in the unit and a shoe closet right next to the front door. This apartment compared to the first one I showed you guys that also has around it, I think 80 square foot bigger. It's much bigger, better sunlight, just better views. I don't know, I like it. I like it a lot. I'd be surprised if I didn't walk away with this apartment, to be honest. We'll see, who knows? I'm just so blown away by this one. And then for our very last apartment, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of things I didn't like about it more than I liked. Like first off, like as soon as you walk in, yeah, like the corner, I like that it's a corner unit, but as soon as you go like towards the windows, the first thing you see is the bridge and the highway, and it's so close to it that I feel like, you know, like I like to walk around my apartment freaking naked. But I feel like the cars driving by would just see my like schlong slinging around, so I don't like that at all. And on top of that, the left side of the window also faced directly towards another apartment, which is pretty damn close too. And then same thing on the right side. The bedroom was okay. It wasn't small. It was a good size, so I like that. The kitchen, I also like that it had like a little island. I love islands, guys. So that was good too. The dishwasher was a bit small. I hoard. That's my biggest problem. I love to hoard, and I have a lot of plates and cups and dishes and whatever. So I know that tiny ass fucking dishwasher will not fit everything that I have. I mean, washer dryer is there, bathroom's fine, the lights didn't even work, but you know what, it's okay. But other than that, it's like, on to the next apartment. But first, I gotta go to church. It's Sunday, guys. So, hold on. Alright guys, so that was the end of all the tours. You could probably tell which ones were like my favorite and then which ones were like, I'm pretty biased, heavily biased. Yeah, so it's really fun, but it's really tiring seeing all these apartments. But I will say, by the time this video comes out, I would have already been approved by an apartment. So maybe like you guys should take a guess which one I ended up going with. I feel like it shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, it's very exciting, and I plan on showing you guys the entire like moving process and like the apartment tour and furnishing it. So there's a lot of cool things coming up, and I hope you guys could take something out of this too if you plan on moving to New York City, which I think is the greatest city on planet Earth, especially if you want to achieve something, if you have a dream, if you have a goal in mind. This is the city. So hope you guys loved the tours and my critiques, my honest, a little too specific critiques. But other than that, I will see you in the next video with my very new apartment.